We want to bring in Kent Syler, a political analyst from MTSU. Kent, first, we start with the big unknown about tonight, and that would be the tone of this particular debate. Not too hard to see the difference between these two debates.
It's not, Tracy. And, I think they covered a lot of information tonight. There were the interruptions and the back and forth sometimes, but really maybe just enough to keep it interesting. So I thought both did a good job of staying on subject and a little give and take.
Let's first talk about Vice President Mike Pence. What was his goal going in, and what was it important for him to focus on?
Well, Vice President Pence had a tough job. I mean, when the debate started with COVID, and you've got a White House and a president that has COVID, a first lady, lots of White House staffers, he was almost defending the undefendable. But he gave it his best effort. I think he was able to pivot later to subjects that were better for President Trump and for the Republican ticket. But it was a tough start, and it was expected. I'm sure he was ready for it. But I thought, he got through it and then moved on.
His pivoting was interesting to watch. Some may say evading, but let's go to the same question for Senator Harris. What did she need to focus on and do well tonight?
Well, she needed, as Vice President Pence, needed to defend President Trump. She needed to defend Vice President Biden. I think she did a good job. She also wanted to make the case to women because she's obviously uniquely seated to do that. And women are the group of voters that the Biden and Harris ticket need to attract. And she did a good job of adjusting her message to that and prosecuting the case against President Trump.
So grade the candidates for us tonight. How did they do?
Tracy, usually if we didn't have COVID, I'd have my students up there in the studio and I'd be asking them to help us out, right?
Yep.
So I will give both of them a B+. Okay. And I do that a little bit on a curve because last Tuesday's debate was not quite up to par. Comparatively, this one was much better.
What do you think? Is there a topic that they may have missed tonight? They really did check a lot of boxes.
They did. They covered a whole lot of territory. There's been some speculation already. Should Harris have been tougher going after COVID, going after the president? This is kind of a tough time for a debate. You've got a recuperating president in the White House. So she probably handled that well. Mm-hmm. I think the vice president, probably stuck with what he wanted to talk with.
Okay, let's look ahead. The presidential debate next week. First of all, will it happen? What do you think?
Wow, that's a great question because, Vice President Biden said today he wouldn't debate if the president is still contagious. And God, when you let that sink in for a moment, can you imagine us thinking about hearing something like that? So if the president is, will the president still be contagious? How will the president feel? 90 minutes of this is tough. Mm-hmm. And this is a town hall style debate. Will they be there in the building with the people or, will we do something virtual? This is going to be the top of the news for a long time, in the next few days. It's going to be great to watch and see what really happens here.
So last question, what does each candidate need to bring to the table if this debate does happen next week?
Well, the pressure is all on President Trump. Since last Tuesday's debate and the COVID diagnosis, his poll numbers are not good at all right now. He's been going in the totally wrong direction. The debate tonight probably didn't do anything to change any of that. President Trump has got to change the trajectory next week because time is running out.